Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So for you guys today, I have an eyeshadow collection video. I just did like an overall makeup collection last month in December, but I decided to do this eyeshadow collection for a couple of different reasons. One, before I even get started explaining why, I'm not trying to brag in any way, shape, or form. The reason I'm doing this is so I have like a visual remembrance of what eyeshadows I have right now, what my opinions of them are right now, and so I can just keep a general idea of like, do I like it? Do I dislike it? Do I love it? Do I hate it? Like, should I keep it? Should I get rid of it? That type of thing. It's more of the fact that I have like a visual representation of what I like and what I dislike and what I have, because I'm not going to remember a month from now what I have, or let alone 11 months from now what I have, or 12 months from what I have from now what I have. So I just wanted a way to record it and to, you know, just have a remembrance of what I'm doing. So I'm not trying to brag. It's more for me like a diary type thing. I don't know. But yeah, so with that being said, if you guys like these types of videos, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I would very much greatly appreciate it. With that being said, let's get started. Okay, let's start with like what's right here. So this is the Milkshake palette from Face Candy. It was from Shop Hush. There's what it looks like. It's a dupe for the Just Peachy mattes from Too Faced, though in all honesty, this one is not matte. It's more of a like sequin. It's like, it feels matte, but then there's also shimmer in it, just like a little bit. You're not gonna be able to see it very well on camera, but it's there. But I really enjoy this one. Next one is the So Fire palette from KKW Beauty. Now, this one, you can't really tell. I mean, you can see it a little bit in like this shade. This is probably one of my favorite palettes ever. I love it. I used it a lot this summer because it's like very warm toned, but I would like do this shade in my crease, and then I would deepen up the corner and then do like one of these shimmer shades on my lid. Beautiful. Next one is the one I thought I was actually going to use more than the So Fire one. This is the Matte Cocoa Matte one. I've barely used this. I used it for the tutorial and then a couple times after that, but that's it. Like, it still has the plastic in it. I've used it so little, but it's a really good like mixer palette. So like if you have a palette like this one, this is the Revolution Chocolate Gold, and it's mostly shimmers. It's actually all shimmers. The matte one is really good to mix in with this Don't You Dare Fall. So this is the chocolate gold one from, or gold bar from Revolution. It's a dupe for the chocolate gold bar from Too Faced. I like dupe palettes. I don't like paying full price for fancy things, when the only difference really is the name on the package. I mean, there are a few brands I will, but not very many. This is the Revolution Reloaded Neutrals 3 palette. I like this color a lot. It's very pretty. It's like very good for like deepening up the crease. And then I've used this one quite a bit. And then we have, what is this one? The Visionary. Is this one the purple one? Yeah, this one's all purple shades. And I love it so much. Okay. This one is the Bad Habit Aura palette. It's a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette. I believe you guys can see me and I have not got on my face. So there's that one. And then we have the Artistry 2. This one's a dupe for the Mario and KKW collab, the first one. I want to get it so bad. I think I might. And then I'm also going to get the second one. And then this one is the Artistry palette. It's the dupe for the collab that Mario did with ABH. So there's that. I wish Bad Habit was back. But I mean, they're back, but you can't get these palettes anymore, which is sad. Which is why I don't use them on my channel, but I use them all quite often in real life. This one is the Aphrodite from Bad Habit. It's the dupe for Desert Dusk or Desert Gold, something like that. It's Huda Beauty. There's that one. And then this is the Alter Ego Goddess palette. This is Alter Ego replaced Bad Habit. They're like the same people. This is a dupe for the Natasha Denona something or other. But there's what she looks like. I like this one because it's got more green tones. Okay. This is the After Party from... I need to sit down. I can't sit on my knees. Okay. Anyway. After Party is one of the dupes. I think it's like the Smoky Obsessions dupe from Bad Habit. It's the one for the Huda Beauty. It's a dupe for one of the Huda Beauty palettes. There's that one. This shade actually shattered, and I don't know if I ever fixed it or not. So, there's that. This is another one. This is the Aftershock palette. I've used this one quite a bit too, and I don't even really like colors, but this formula is really super powdery. Sorry, I have you guys sitting at a weird angle, so there's what that one looks like. And then this is Disco Fever. This is a dupe for something, but for the life of me, I can't remember what. So here's that shade. What that one looks like. I'm just gonna throw the plastic out. Okay, so now we have the Temptress palette. This is a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. Has the plastic on it. Literally never used this, but I'm going to soon. So hold on. This is the Sahara palette from Alter Ego. This one is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Biba palette. There's what that one looks like. I really like this color right here. I actually love this whole palette. It's like very neutrally brown gold tones, which I love. That's like my color story. So there's that one. And then we have, oops. This one's the Supernova palette from Bad Habit. It's a, what is it called? It's a dupe for the Sunrise palette. And this is part of the reason why I say Alter Ego is Bad Habit in, like, rebranded. Because, this is a dupe for the Sunset palette from Bad Habit. Alter Ego made a dupe for the Sunrise palette. And it's like the Aurora palette. And, like, it's very, very warm toned and sparkly and everything. So I don't really want it. And this one, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not. If I do, I'll use it some more. If I don't, I'll probably give it to Gabby. Because she likes makeup. This is my only Juvia's Place palette. This is the Nomad palette. Oh no, don't do that, you moron. Stop doing that to me. You're not even, like, in a bad spot. This palette, I was underwhelmed. Like, it's a very pretty palette, but I was exceedingly underwhelmed. Like, everybody said Juvia's Place is super crazy pigmented. They're really good quality. I didn't love it, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one yet. Okay, this one is the Cult Mystery palette. This is a dupe for one of the Pat McGrath ones. I do not like this palette whatsoever. I hate this palette because really the only two mattes in this whole palette are this black shade right here and this brown right in here. The rest of them are shimmer shades. Like, you can't, or I can't anyway, create a full look with this. Like, yeah, this can go to deepen up the corner and your crease, but this, it's not. No, I don't know. I'm not doing that anymore. This is the Revolution Basic Mattes palette. pretty sure this one might be a dupe for the Just Peachy Mattes as well, but I'm not certain. So there's that one. Ha, okay. I didn't realize, I commented on another YouTuber's Instagram post. Her name was Beaudiction. It's Jen Phelps now. And I said, you know, because I thought she hadn't tried this. Like, I misread the post, but I said, you know, you should try this palette. And somebody on there, like, said, you obviously don't watch her channel if you're saying this. I'm like, I misunderstood, you dummy. Okay, so this is the Aromas palette. This is a dupe for the Huda Beauty New Nudes palette. This one is quite pretty, actually. And I actually kind of like this better than the other dupe I have for the Huda Beauty one, like, texture-wise, because there's none of the pressed glitters in here. There's no pressed glitters, which I quite like. There's just some very sparkly, like, shimmer shades. And then this shade right here, this is a powder versus, like, a concealer shade, which is what's in the original one and in the other dupe that I have. So there's that. And then I have, what is this one? This one is the Cargo Cosmetics Enjoy Every Moment palette. It's like a very spring, well, it's very, like, I don't want to say cool toned because it's not really gray or anything, but it's like, I like this palette a lot. Like, I like that these are all shimmer shades and I can create, like, a very cohesive look with this. I'm very excited. I'm thinking about starting a series on my channel called The Makeup Diaries because I have all this stuff and you'll see which palette I use the most. But I want to use more of my palettes, and so I think by creating, like, a Makeup Diaries channel or a series on my channel, that would be very helpful. So I'm probably gonna do that, but let me know if you guys have got, like, any specific requests that you would like to see, like, out of all these palettes. Are there any that you would like to see a look with specifically? And I'll do it. So this one is the Cargo Cosmetics Namaste palette. This is a beautiful, beautiful warm-toned neutral palette. It's so pretty. It is so, so pretty. These shimmer shades, like the Cargo Cosmetics shimmer shades, I love them. I love them, I love them, I love them. They're, like, up there for me with the KKW Beauty ones. So I quite enjoy those. And then this one is the Night Owl palette, upside down, from ColourPop. It was exclusive to Ulta. I enjoy this palette quite a bit. It's very pretty. There's no pressed glitter in it, which I love because I hate pressed glitter. And it's very pretty. It's very pigmented. It's easy, basic, simple, neutral palette that I love. The only thing I don't like is that this was $12. Okay, I realize it was exclusive to Ulta one, but it was $12. And in all of their other $12 palettes, like this Just My Luck one, they're the same price. This one's got plastic packaging. It also has a mirror. So I don't understand why this one feels like, did I just break it? No. Why this one feels like it costs more to make, has a mirror, but this one does not. Like, I mean, I don't mind the artwork that's there, but I find that to be very irritating. It bothers me. Stupid things like that bother me. I like consistency. Okay, next up is the Morphe, I think it's like the 9B Bronzed Babe. Pretty sure that's what that says right there. Yep. This one, I love this palette so much. I don't know if you guys can see how much I've used it or not, but I quite like this palette. I actually like this 9-pan palette better than I do, like, the bigger ones of Morphe that I have. So I would say, like, if you're going to buy Morphe, buy, like, these plastic 9-pan palettes because to me, it's a more cohesive look. It's not as confusing to stare at, and I think the quality overall is much better. So there's that one. And then I have, what is this one? This one is my only BH Cosmetics Love in London palette. I got this one at Target after Christmas for $8. And look at it. It's so pretty. There's just enough mattes and there's just enough shimmers. Like, they're split almost evenly down the middle. I think there are 7 mattes and 9 shimmers. And the shimmers in here are beautiful, as are the mattes. They're very, very pretty. I quite enjoy those. This one is the After Hours palette from, what is it? Bad Habit. I think this is a dupe for the Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions. It's very, like, warm-toned and, like, specifically red-toned. So I don't mind this palette. So there's that one. This is the Vice palette from Face Candy. This one is a dupe for the Kylie Cosmetics Purple palette. I'm not crazy about this palette just because, like, the mattes are not very pigmented. Like, you can build them, I will say that. Like, they're very buildable, and obviously you guys don't care because this palette can't be bought anymore, but it wasn't my favorite palette. I'm kind of glad it's gone. So, this palette. I will never get rid of this palette because this was my first ever, like, expensive palette, like, high-end palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. It's the Alien palette. And other than the packaging, can you guys see how much I have used this palette? I've actually hit pan in this shade right here. I love this palette. I love it. And the thing that made me buy it was when I was watching his launch video, he was talking about, like, this shade and this shade, and then he said, like, this shade. It was like greens and purples with a couple of neutral shades thrown in, because these two are very neutral. This one is pretty neutral. Space Cowboy is like a brown glitter shade, not glitter, shimmer shade. I really like this palette. I hate the packaging. And it's actually been discontinued, I think, which makes me kind of sad. But yeah, look at it looks so beat up, my poor makeup. Okay, so the next one is, let's do this one. This one is the Sugar palette from Face Candy. This is, I think it's a dupe for a Too Faced, maybe the Gingerbread palette. I'm not 100% certain, but if this is how, like, Too Faced palettes normally feel, I'm glad I didn't buy it. Look at the eyeshadow just fell out. What the hell? Because I don't like this tin packaging whatsoever, but I like the colors in here for the most part. They're very pretty. So there's that one. And then this palette. I love this palette. This is the Going Coconuts palette from ColourPop. I love this palette because if you cover up this side, you have got like a daytime look, and then you can add like a shimmer shade to it, and then if you cover up this side, you can create like a matte smoky eye for going out, or put a shimmer shade on it. I realize like I'm holding it over farther, but it's because every time I move there's like a shadow. So I love this palette so much. And then this is the Frozen 2 Anna palette. This one I like. I like the color scheme. It's very fall themed, and if you guys don't know, I love fall palettes because they're very neutral. Reds, oranges, browns, golds, coppers. I'm here for it. I hate this pressed glitter. I despise pressed glitter. It is disgusting. It gets everywhere. Ugh. But this palette itself, it's very good. I think pretty much all of ColourPop's palettes are very good. Okay. This is the Flutterby palette. Again, it has a pressed glitter in it, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it's like a more purpley toned palette, which I can't tell if you guys can see it if I hold it like this or not, because like I'm sitting on the floor and my phone's above my head, but I'm gonna hold it like this. Maybe, I don't know, like this. I like this palette because this dark shade right here, I can't read the shade name, sorry. This darker shade right here, it takes this palette from like very daytime to a more nighttime palette, and it's still, you know, pretty monochromatic. It's almost all purple, but there's like browns and stuff too, which like I said, brown, green, purple, I'm sold. Speaking of browns, this is the Androgyny palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. The formula between this palette and the Alien palette, it's like very different, but this palette is amazing. Amazing. I love it. Like this. Oh shoot. Damn it, Shanna. The shade Frosting right here. So pretty, 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 pretty. You could use that, honestly, if you're like a medium to a deeper skin tone. I think that would be a very pretty highlight on you. If you're more fair, you can use this Safe Word shade as like a contour color, but I 10 out of 10. I love this palette. After that, I have the Soph X Revolution palette. This one is newer to my collection. Excuse me, and I haven't really used it too much. Or at all. Have I used it at all? I don't think I've used it at all. See, this is why I need to link a makeup diary, so I would start using more of my makeup, but it's a lot of shimmer. See, this would be one of those palettes that I'd reach for the cocoa mattes in there, because like there's mattes in here, but not really a whole lot. So there's that one. And then let us do, this is the Fairy Tales Storybook Cosmetics. What is this one? Little Red Riding Hood? Yep, Little Red Riding Hood eyeshadow palette. I got it in a BoxyCharm. There's that. This was the only good thing about December's BoxyCharm. Like, I canceled it. So here's the thing. I tried to cancel my BoxyCharm in November so that I wouldn't get it in December. It didn't cancel, and so I got charged for it. And when I realized that, they said, sorry, we've already begun shipping. We can't cancel it. And so I got stuck with this BoxyCharm, and I didn't like half of what was in it. Like, the facial oil is rose. I hate rose-scented stuff. They sent me a blonde eyebrow kit. This thing was the only good thing in that palette, like in that whole box. So, I'm keeping this. But I'm thinking I might get my BoxyCharm back for February. I'm thinking. Okay, so these two are exactly the same. They're both the Sassy Siennas from Dose of Colors. I think this one is the one that's broke. Yep. This one arrived to my house broken, and I tried to repress the shade and it didn't work. So I emailed BoxyCharm and they sent me a new one. So this one's brand new, never been used. Still has the plastic and the brush in it, everything. So I have two of these now and I don't know what to do with them. These two palettes. This one is the CoverGirl Peach Punch palette. My mom got it for me for Christmas in 2018. I have never opened it. It's still sealed. Never opened it. Or maybe I opened it once, but I've never touched it. I've never used it. Peachy orangey shades are not like my favorite on myself because I think they emphasize just how like yellow toned I am, and that's not my favorite thing. However, I will not throw it away because my mom gave it to me. And then this one is the CoverGirl True Naked Chocoholic palette. I love this thing. I hate the packaging. I wish that what CoverGirl would do is cut it in half this way and then just take out like this part right here and have like square pans that are easier to fit your brush in, because my biggest issue with this is that like when I go to like put my brush in, I'm always dipping into the other sides as well because of the fact that like the pan sizes are just so slim. So I love this palette though. I love it, and it still smells fine, so yay. Okay. Let me take that one down. And then, okay, so this is my only, like, Z palette or magnetic palette. Got it off of AOA or shopmissa.com. And in here, I have 3 different palettes. They're all mixed in together, but all of, like, these smaller pans right here and up here, that's the, It's My Pleasure palette from ColourPop. One shade Shattered, and it's the same shadow that shattered the first time I ordered that palette. They had to send me a new one. And then these bigger ones are the Foxy palette and I'm a Beach from that AOA Studio. So there's that, or A2O Labs. This one is new to me also. This one is, okay, so this one is the Pure Pro times Etanine palette. I literally just got this, like, I've had it for a week. But it's a very pretty, like, neutral palette. And here's the thing, I was watching Beaudiction, Jen Phelps, declutter all of her eyeshadow palettes, and I saw this, I'm like, oh, it's so pretty, it's so neutral, and she's like, it's been discontinued. And I'm like, dang it. And then I went to TJ Maxx that day, and I found it at TJ Maxx. So I was really excited. I'm like, it's meant to be. Okay, so I got this one. I haven't used it yet. I'm gonna do that Makeup Diaries thing, because I have so much eyeshadow, and I don't use half of it, and I need to use it because I paid for it. It was expensive. Okay, so this is the Wet n Wild Au Naturel, I think it's like Comfort Zone. Nope, Nude Awakening. That says it right here. This one I got at Five Below. This is probably like my oldest palette, but I lost it, and then I found it like a month and a half ago, so I've never even used this. But there's that. Okay, another one that I really enjoy. This is the Cargo Cosmetics Chill in the 6. I'm holding it upside down. Cargo Cosmetics Chill in the 6 palette. This one's really cool toned. It's like all grays and blues and like whites, but it's so pretty. You can barely see that. Hold on. So pretty. Can you see that? I think you can see that. So pretty. I love it. So I'm keeping that. Like, I'm not getting rid of any of this. I don't know why I keep saying I'm keeping things. I'm not getting rid of anything either. Okay, so. Morphe Jeffree Star. We know how I feel about this. I feel the same way about the James Charles palette. It's a pretty palette, nice to look at, not my favorite. I can't even get it all in frame. But yeah, I've used it since I did that video, but still not my favorite. Hold on, I gotta put the papers back in here, dang it. Okay. My foot is asleep. Tati Beauty Volume, or Textured Neutrals Volume 1. I love the mirror in this palette. I love, like, the colors in this palette. The part that drives me crazy is the fact that, wow, this is, like, really dark. Hold on. The part that drives me crazy is the fact that these middle rows, that middle row is the exact same color as this bottom row. The only difference is that this one has got mica in it. And then I hate this glitter. I hate this glitter row. Like, it doesn't stay. No matter what you do, it doesn't stay. So, I love the colors in it. I love Tati. But I do not like that palette. Like, you cannot convince me to like those two rows in that palette. Okay, so one of my other big palettes. This is the Wet n Wild 40th palette. Dang it! This is the one that everybody said looked... sorry. Like the James Charles palette. It kind of does. It kind of doesn't. The matte shades in this palette are all shimmer shades in the James palette. And vice versa. The ones that are shimmer in this palette are matte. And that one, I think I just said that. I don't know. You guys understand what I mean. But the quality on this is very nice. It was a $20 palette. You can't really beat it. You get 40 shades. That's 50 cents a shade. It's not bad. That is not bad whatsoever. And it's really pretty. Speaking of James Charles. My James Charles X Morphe palette. I hardly ever use this thing. But it was 40 bucks. So I'm keeping it. So there's that. Like, you guys can't even see it all because I'm the worst YouTuber on the face of the planet. And I can't get everything in frame at once. Okay, and then my last two palettes are the ones that, like, I'm secretly the most pleased with about myself. This is the Arabesque or Arbesque palette from Bad Habit. It's a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. I love this palette. Like, look, can you guys see? I hit pan in this one. I hit pan in this one. And I hit pan in this darker shade right here. It is by far my favorite palette. The quality in here is amazing. Amazing. And I really, really wish that Alter Ego would come out with their version of this palette so I could buy it. Because the formula is the same. Okay. And then my final palette is probably the one I'm the most excited about. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera palette. This is my only Anastasia palette because I refuse to pay $49 for this. I refuse. I refuse. Because this is a stupidly powdery formula. I refuse to spend that much money on it because every time you dip your brush in, it's like you're wasting. Oh, there goes 50 cents. No, ma'am. But this is a really pretty palette. I got it at TJ Maxx for like $25. And I'm very excited that I got it. So, there are all my palettes, you guys. And I will be doing like that Makeup Diaries series soon. So, booyah. Alright, you guys, so that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said earlier, if you did, please do not forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. I would very much greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys are all having an awesome weekend. It's Friday. You know, I hope you guys are going to enjoy your Saturday and Sunday. I have to work. Woohoo. But yeah, so with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.